Hare Krishna. Welcome to our program. Our speaker of the day is Shriman Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. He has done his master's degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is also a member of ISKCON Examination Board and takes classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnav etiquettes. He has written elaborate workbooks on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, with which the students can dive into intricacies of these great scriptures. He is a compiler of many other educational booklets and magazines, thus helping the seekers of Bhagavad knowledge. In all, he is a living encyclopedia of scriptures preaching the science all over the world, and who is exemplary and lives whatever he preaches. Come, let's hear him and try to imbibe the essence of scriptures as presented by him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna performs very wonderful and enchanting pastimes. And of all the pastimes that he had done, the pastimes that are in Vrindavan are the most enchanting. All the beautiful pastimes in different rasas are performed by Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. And Srimati Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj are in parental affection for Krishna, and they are in Vatsalya Rasa. Vatsalya means affection, parental affection for a child. And of all the Vatsalya devotees of Krishna, Yashoda and Nanda are the topmost. And Yashoda's position as the mother of Krishna is much higher than all the other devotees of Krishna who are in parental affection for him. Yashoda's position is superior to Nanda Maharaj also. And there is one beautiful pastime that Krishna has performed with Mother Yasoda, which is called Damodara Lila. Krishna is captivated by the affection of Mother Yasoda, and he agreed to be bound by Mother Yasoda in Vrindavan. Damodara, Dama means rope, Udara means belly. So Damodara refers to that Lord Krishna whose belly is bound by the rope of Mother Yasoda's love. So this is a wonderful and enchanting pastime of all the pastimes that Krishna has performed in Vrindavan in Vatsalya Rasa. Just like Rasa Lila is considered to be the epitome of all the Madhurya pastimes or conjugal pastimes of Krishna, Damodara Lila is considered to be the epitome of all the Vatsalya pastimes of Krishna. Krishna performs these pastimes in Vatsalya Rasa predominantly in his early childhood, and when he grows up little bit, he would perform so many pastimes in Sakhya Rasa with all the Gopas. And when he is little more grown up, in his Kaumara Leela, he performed pastimes with Yashodamai and all the parental devotees, and in Pauganda, he performed a lot of pastimes with the Gopas. And when he is little more grown up, when he comes to Kaishora age, when he is little young, then he performs pastimes with the Gopis of Vrindavan. Of all the pastimes of Vatsalya pastimes of Krishna, Damodara Lila is considered to be the topmost. Sukadeva Goswami very ecstatically describes this pastime in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 9th chapter. The first sloka says, Ekada grihadasishu Yashoda Nanda Gehini Karmantara Niyukteshu Nirmamantha Swayam Dadhi Yani Yani Hagitani Tadbala Charitani Cha. Here in this shloka, Sukadeva Goswami says, Ekada grihadasishu. Ekada means one day. What is this one day? That one day refers to the Deepavali day, Deepa Malika day. So, during the Kartik month of the year, there is this beautiful festival called Deepavali, which is most popular, and this Diwali is celebrated by lighting so many lamps in everybody's houses. So, on that day, on Deepavali day, Ekada, Grihadasishu Yashoda Nandagehini. Grihadasishu means there are so many dasis, maid servants in the house of Mother Yasoda, and Yashoda Mata engaged all these Grihadasis, maid servants, in various duties in her house. There are 9 lakh cows in Yashoda Mata's house, Nanda Maharaj's Goshala, and to take milk from all these cows and convert that into yogurt and churn them and remove butter from it. So, we need so many maid servants. So, there are thousands of liters of milk that is being produced in the Goshala of Nanda Maharaj. To process all that milk and convert into yogurt and butter and ghee, it takes a lot of manpower. So, Yashoda Mata has hundreds and thousands of maid servants. Ekada Grihadasishu Yashoda Nandagehini. Yashoda Mata is described as Nandagehini, means she is the mistress or she is the queen of Nanda Maharaj's house. Nanda is the Maharaj, is the king of this entire Vrindavan, and Yashoda is the queen. So, Nandagehini also indicates glorification of Nanda Maharaj. He is the father of Krishna. Nanda and Yashoda are the eternal parents of Krishna. So, Ekada Grihadasishu Yashoda Nandagehini Karmantara Niyukteshu Nirmamantha Swayam Dadhi. Yashoda Mata, she engaged all the maid servants in various household duties, and she started personally churning butter for Krishna. Nirmamantha Swayam Dadhi means she personally started churning butter for Krishna. Why? If she had so many maid servants, why Yashoda has to personally churn? There is a reason. Krishna, although he is just a 2-3-year-old boy at that time, he went to almost every single house of Vrindavan and he started stealing butter from all their houses. Krishna loves to steal butter. All the gopis would come to Mother Yasoda and start lodging complaints against Krishna. Oh, this boy Krishna, he has come to our house, he has broken our pots and he has stolen our butter, he has pinched our babies, he passed urine and stool in our houses. Like that, Krishna does so many mischievous activities in Vrindavan, and all the gopis, apparently they get bothered or become angry at Krishna's activities, but internally they were relishing. Krishna would steal butter from all these houses, and Yashoda was thinking that why Krishna has to steal butter from all these people's houses? Because probably he is not finding the butter that I am making in my house very tasty. So, if I can provide tasty butter to Krishna within my house only, he would not go and steal butter from other gopis' houses. She was thinking like that. And if I engage my maid servants in churning butter for Krishna, because these people are not very expert in making butter, so I am expert in making butter, so let me personally churn butter. So, Yashoda Mai, out of a kind of stubbornness that is born out of her intense affection for Krishna, she thought that only she knows the art of making butter which is suitable for Krishna, which Krishna loves to eat. But in fact, Krishna is not going and stealing butter from others' gopis' houses just because Yashoda Mai's butter is not very tasty. That's not the reason. The reason is Krishna loves to steal. Krishna loves to steal the butter-like hearts of his devotees. In fact, the gopis were lodging complaints, but the purpose for which the gopis are making butter in Vrindavan is just that Krishna comes and steals that butter. When Krishna comes and steals butter, all the gopis would feel so happy. So, these gopis, when they were lodging complaints, their mood was that, oh, Krishna is stealing from our houses, but he may not steal from Yashoda's house. So, Yashoda Mata is deprived of this pleasure of witnessing Krishna's stealing activities. So, because she is deprived of this pleasure and we have this pleasure, let us go and narrate the stealing activities of Krishna in front of Mother Yasoda so that she also can take pleasure of hearing Krishna's stealing pastimes. That's the motive. But somehow all these gopis, they would not just go and narrate the stealing pastimes in a normal manner, but they would narrate them in the form of complaints against Krishna. Oh, Krishna has done this, Krishna has done that, and they seem to be very angry at Krishna, but actually they only have love for Krishna. They are never angry at Krishna. All the gopis love Krishna. These are all Vatsalya gopis who have similar parental affection for Krishna, just like Mother Yashoda. Yashoda is definitely the epitome and the topmost devotee who loves Krishna with parental affection, but all the other gopis also had almost similar loving affection, parental affection for Krishna. So, when Krishna is caught red-handed sometimes, some gopis try to bring Krishna to Mother Yashoda, but somehow Krishna would escape. So, all the gopis wanted to relish narrating the pastimes of Krishna. They don't want to forget the pastimes of Krishna, stealing pastimes of Krishna. So, they would try to remember them by constantly discussing about these activities amongst themselves, and sometimes they speak about these pastimes in front of Mother Yashoda in the form of complaints. So, Yashodamai thought, Nanda is the king of this Gokul, he is the Maharaj, and Krishna is supposed to be the prince. If the prince goes to the citizens' houses and steals milk products from them, it would be very awkward. So, Yashodamai tried to discipline Krishna in various ways. You are a prince, you should be behaving properly, you should be disciplined, you should not be stealing butter. It's very very embarrassing. So, why don't you understand? Please don't go and steal. Yashodamai tries to tell Krishna in various ways, but Krishna wouldn't listen, because Krishna is very eager to reciprocate the love and affection of all the gopis in Vrindavan, and not only Yashodamai. So, when he goes and steals butter from gopis' houses, he is actually stealing their butter-like hearts. So, here on this day of Deepavali, Yashoda Mata is sitting and she was churning butter personally, so that Krishna would be pleased to eat that butter that she has made personally with her own hands, and Krishna might stop stealing. Ekada grahadasishu Yashoda nandagehini karmantara niyukteshu nirmamantha swayam dadhi. And butter Mother Yashoda is churning is from a very special yogurt that is made out of very special milk. Out of the 9 lakh cows that Maharaj Nanda had in his cow herd, there are some 8 to 9 special cows. They are called Padmagandha cows. These Padmagandha cows, they eat very special grasses which are very soft, delicious, and very tasty, very sweet. So, they are fed very special grasses, and the cows are also very special, and Mother Yashoda personally extracted milk from these cows and she made them into yogurt, and then she is personally churning butter. She did not engage any of her servants in this activity. She personally wanted to do this loving service to Krishna. So, she was thinking, oh, these maidservants, they do not know when to start churning. When milk is converted into yogurt, there is a time at which it has to be removed, and then churning can start. If one starts churning this curd before time, it may be little milky in taste, and if one starts churning the yogurt, after some time it may become little sour. There is a right time during which one has to churn butter, and Yashodamai knows that. So, she knows the very finer nuances of making butter just for the pleasure of Krishna, being the epitome of all Vatsalya devotees. So, Yashoda Mata was churning this special Padmagandha cow's yogurt into butter. So, Ekada grahadasishu Yashoda nandagehini karmantara niyukteshu nirmamantha swayam dadhi. At that time, Yashodamai was singing the glories of Krishna. Yani yani ha gitani tadbala charitani cha. Yani yani ha gitani Tad Bala Charitanicha, this Bala, this small child Krishna has already done various enchanting pastimes. By this time Krishna is just 2-3 years old, so he has killed Putana when he was just few days old. And he has also killed Shakatasura, a great demon who did not have a physical form. He entered the cart under which Krishna was sleeping. So Krishna, at that time Krishna was just a 3 months old baby. So Krishna kicked that cart just by the gesture of an infant. When an infant just tries to pull his hands and legs in the air, so it's very natural for an infant to do it. So when Krishna was pushing his legs into the air, that leg, that soft, tender, leaf-like leg touched this cart, and the cart overturned and fell down, and the demon died. So thus Krishna killed Shakatasur. Before that Krishna killed Putana, and later when Krishna was 1 year old, Krishna killed Trinavarta also. Like that Krishna has done so many beautiful pastimes. Mother Yashoda composed beautiful songs that are describing all these pastimes of Krishna. So she has made songs out of Krishna's activities, and she started singing as she was churning butter. So yani yani hagitani tadbala charitani cha. Or some acharyas even say that Yashodamayi would go to poets, and the poets would compose beautiful songs out of Krishna's activities, and Yashodamayi would chant these songs, would sing these songs as she was churning butter. So when what we want to remember is presented in the form of a song, remembering becomes much easier. So Yashodamayi never wants to forget any of the activities done by Krishna, because she loves her child Krishna so much. She doesn't want to forget any of his activities. So she started singing those activities in the form of songs. Yani yani ha gitani tadbala charitani cha dadhi nirmantane kale tanyaham agayata. So Yashodamayi started singing by remembering these activities of Krishna. So the remembrance of activities of Krishna becomes very natural and easy when it is sung in the form of songs. So Acharyas, the great Vaishnava Acharyas, have composed so many songs that are describing the activities of Krishna. While we are rendering so many services to God, services to Krishna, if only we can remember those songs, then we can become more Krishna conscious. And also, there are so many beautiful shlokas in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. All our scriptures are filled with beautiful poetic shlokas, verses. So if only one can try to remember the philosophy and the pastimes of God in the form of these nectarian shlokas, so one can easily become Krishna conscious. So Yashodamayi is setting the ideal example of a Krishna conscious devotee by singing the glories of Krishna as she was churning. So she was engaged in the activity of churning, her hands were churning and her mouth was singing the pastimes of Krishna, and her mind was absorbed in love for Krishna. So her body, mind and words, all three are engaged in Krishna's service. Mind is thinking about Krishna, words are singing the glories of Krishna, and the body is engaged in churning butter. So this is the description of a pure devotee. A devotee is a person who always engages one's words, actions and thoughts in Krishna. So Yashodamayi, as she was churning butter, she is wearing beautiful bangles, and that bangles were making sounds like kartals. And as Yashodamayi was churning butter, there is this churning rod that is inserted in this big pot, earthen pot. Inside the pot there is yogurt, and Yashodamayi kept the churning rod there, and there is a rope that is tied to this churning rod, and then she is doing this, she is churning. So at that time, this churning rod, as it is churning the yogurt inside, it's making sound like mridanga. So mridanga is there inside the pot, and kartals are there in the form of her bangles, and she is singing. So this mridanga and kartal accompaniment to her singing made the whole singing performance so enchanting. So actually all the musical instruments are supposed to be played in such a way that the singer's song is highlighted. They are all musical accompaniments to the song. If the musical instruments are played very loudly and if they dominate the singer's voice, it's not a very pleasant musical performance. Everybody should have their own place in a musical performance. So there should be harmony between the singer and the music. So here Yashodamai's kartals and the mridanga sound that is coming out of the churning, so these are perfectly syncing and perfectly in harmony with Mother Yashoda singing. So Yashoda was singing so affectionately. As she was singing, her eyebrows were very expressive because her heart is filled with love for her dear child Krishna. That love is also being expressed in the form of various expressions in her face also. So Yashoda was singing while churning butter. As Yashoda was singing this beautiful pastimes of Krishna, Krishna was sleeping in the bedroom which is nearby, and Yashoda is singing Krishna's pastimes and churning this butter in this another room. So Yashoda is feeling separation from Krishna. To mitigate her feelings of separation from her beloved child Krishna, she was singing. When we remember Krishna and when we render service to Krishna, there is actually no separation. To mitigate her feelings of separation from Krishna, Yashoda is remembering the activities of Krishna. Yashoda has Krishna in her mind, and in her rendering the service of churning, she is actually intending to please Krishna. Her whole existence is a perfect example of Krishna consciousness. So Acharyas say that when we are in separation from Krishna, what can mitigate our feelings of separation from Krishna? Our remembrance of Krishna and our service to Krishna. So Yashoda is remembering Krishna and rendering this churning service to Krishna so that she can be Krishna conscious. She is feeling separation from Krishna in this context. So like that Yashodamai is churning, and Sukadeva Goswami further describes the beauty of Mother Yashoda in this churning that we will see in the next episode. Hare Krishna.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, please call 8767 845 845.